Well, good morning, everyone. This is the Knox County Commissioners, January 29th, 2026. We have our sheriff with us this morning to give us his monthly report. Thank you, Dan, for being here, and take it away.
Okay, well, so currently in our jail, we have 74 males, 17 females, and one housed outside the county. Um, the remodel of the building behind the sheriff's office for evidence, Marv Builders is doing a great job. It's coming along. Looking forward to being able to move evidence and other equipment back there so we have it organized a lot better. Of course, county maintenance has been doing a great job of keeping the snow removed and parking lot, sidewalks at the office. So we thank them for that. So we're currently looking for two deputy sheriffs for the corrections division and one patrol deputy.
So when we house prisoners out of our area, what's it cost daily? Is it a weekly charge, is it a monthly charge?
It's monthly charge. I believe it's around 2,500, but I'd have to get
Per
back.
month.
Yep, I'll have to get back to you on that.
So every time we put a prisoner in another, it's 2,500 monthly at our county cost.
Yeah.
Out of your
It
budget.
depends where, right, Sheriff?
Yeah,
Because
it
like
does.
some of them are, was Delaware, I don't know, one of them used to be $65 a day. I think it
Yeah.
depends on the,
It does. It depends
where
on
it is, it's a daily.
So you budget according for that,
yes.
perhaps may happening throughout the year, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any idea when they're going to be done with the evidence portion?
So it looks to me like pretty much everything's done except for painting on the inside and some electrical and probably security. And so
Did they get the doors in, Dan?
yes,
Okay.
doors are
Yeah, that
down.
was one of the things they were holding
And
up on.
if all this building's a lot more secure at this point, and
Right.
so
What are you looking for in staff? What do you need?
so we need two deputies for in the jail. So we would like to hire one female, one male,
Mhm.
and then as far as a patrol unit, either one.
And you found your kitchen help? What you looking for? A
We
kitchen?
did. We did. We may be looking for another one. There's a possibility we may have one retire. And then, of course, we have one deputy that's, I believe, been with us for 17 years in corrections. It's going to be retiring the end of February.
And we've had, you and I were talking out in the lobby there about four-wheelers in Knox County and what's legal and what's not legal. You want to share with the people who are watching as to what is the criteria for being able to be on the roads in Knox County, who's going to get pulled over, and why they'll get pulled over, and licensing and not being licensed.
Yeah. So there you can have your side by side. You can get a driver or a license for those vehicles. You can stop out the sheriff's office, or we'll even go to locations and inspect the vehicles and write it out that it's deemed safe to be on the roadway and has all the lights and all that type of stuff. So then there's some that don't have the lights, don't have the turn signals, horns, and that type of stuff. Now, a lot of those are being used for pumping wells, farm use, that type of thing. I really don't want our units bothering those guys that are using them for plowing snow and that type of thing, unless they've been extremely modified where they're loud and obnoxious. And now if they're tearing up things, tearing up the roadways, no driver's license, maybe too young to be operating a piece of equipment like that, then they're stopping them. Now, our units did stop several under the level 3 that was out and about.
That were just driving on the roads then?
Driving on the road, some of them were actually using them because either their vehicle couldn't get out, they couldn't get supplies or this, that, or the other.
So if they put the triangle slow moving vehicle sign on the back, does that make them legal to be on the road?
To a point,
Okay.
slow moving vehicle signs. I know there's laws that they're not supposed to be on the road, but I have a kind of a hard time enforcing that because we're going to go after them for being on the road. We're going to have to go after the horse and buggies for having no driver's licenses and no plates, lights. And it's one of them things where it's going to definitely cause a lot of issues if we.
So when you said horse and buggy, no driver's license, so is there an age requirement to drive a horse?
There's not. I mean, there's no age requirement, and of course they're on the roadways. Some of them are well lit, some of them are not. But I feel that if we start pushing the issue with the side by sides, real, you know, people that are using them for legitimate reasons or even just riding them, then we're gonna have to go after the buggies being on the roadway as well.
That's a
No
common
good
sense
deed goes
approach.
unpunished, Dan.
But,
No good deed goes
right,
unpunished.
right. Now, obviously, we're not going to tolerate them, being out there tearing up the roads.
Right. Or private property.
And I've mentioned before, if there's intersections and whatever that they're doing donuts in, whatever, we could put some cameras on them intersections, and I can reach out to people in the neighborhood, and they'll know who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Even trail cams work, right?
Yeah, trail cams. So we will go after them for that.
Any other questions for the check?
No, thank you.
Appreciate your common sense. Thank you.
Stay warm, Sheriff.
Yeah.
How's the chief doing? Okay?
Seems to be. Looks like we're supposed to warm up a little bit.
We up to the 20-degree mark.
No, you're not high when that's warm,
Make
right?
sure you put your sunblocker on.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks, Sheriff.
Thanks,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you. Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
Dan. Stay warm.
All right, so Commissioner, you want to go with some of these other ones while we're waiting for EMA?
Yes, let's do that.
All right, so, yes, the first item, Commissioner Personal, I'll just turn that over to you.
Okay. Yeah, so we've had hearings. We've had a lot of feedback on the Bat Nest Road. There's been discussions with the township trustees. And so we need at this point to either approve or deny the request by the Union Township trustees to vacate the road. As I briefly mentioned, we've had two different groups, that national groups that have done their PR work. We've had some local people do some PR work. We've done our due diligence with the county engineer and the map department. And so I believe we've are ready to go ahead and either approve the vacating of Vat Nest Road or denying that vacation.
I'd like to make a motion to vote down the motion to vacate Bat Nest Road. And to actually vote down.
Do you do not want it
I
vacated?
do not want to vacate it.
So we
I want to
are-
answer the incredible efforts of our community and those across the nation by voting down vacating.
So your motion would be to deny
The petition
Yes.
from Union Township.
for that.
Under the current circumstances, I will vote to deny.
You gotta second it
A
first.
second. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second. And Jason, I'll have you call for an individual vote from the commissioners so that we'll have that on the record. Similar to when we go into
Sure.
executive
All right.
session.
Commissioner C?
So if you say yes, you're
Voting to
saying
deny.
yes to deny.
Yes to deny.
All right,
Yes.
Commissioner Luster?
Yes.
Commissioner Purcell?
Yes.
All right.
So the request to vacate Bat Nest Road has been denied, and we will let the township trustees know that.
Okay, all right, so then we need to approve a grant of easement. The Tamika Santmeyer Holdings LLC with respect to the sewer easement on parcel 21-00304.002. And I'm shocked and read. This, commissioners, is relating to the future site of the
Man,
county water wastewater administrative offices. So the homeowners, Jeff's worked with them to get easements to run sewer to that building.
motion to approve.
I second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then the next one is the same easement with Apple Valley Storage LLC with respect to the sewer easement on parcel 21-00304.001.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right, we have a proof of appoint Michael, is it Meters, is that how you say it, Penny? To the Knox County Airport Authority Board, and he is a pilot and a rents space at the airport, correct?
Do we have a vacancy on the board?
We did.
Do.
And he was brought to us.
Oh, Joker,
Yes.
He
Joe,
was recommended by their board.
Joe is gone from the board.
His term is up, yes.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right,
All right, we have a utility permit with Licking Rural Electric on Danville Amity Road, and this is in Brown Township.
motion to approve.
I second it.
And those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
And let's see, did I open this? Okay, we have approval proposal from Burgess and Nyepel for the annual bridge inspections in the Ohio Department of Transportation Asset Wise reports. This is for 16 bridges this year, and the amount is $13,300. This will be paid for by the county engineer.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 And this will require 3 signatures. Okay, we have approved bid and contract documents for the Knox County Engineers 2026 various pavement markings. This is a project we opened up, I think, last week. And this is being awarded to Oglesby Construction, Inc. in the amount of $103,661.80.
Motion to approve.
I second
Those in favor say aye. Aye.
And is there anywhere I need to sign?
Yes, there is pages. 1 page per binder. And I believe Bill is the only one that needs to sign those.
Do I need to sign it?
No,
No, no.
all just bills, I think. So. Thank you. Then we have approved the Knox County Litter and Recycling Annual Financial Report for 2025, and this was submitted by Matt Bogdan. This will go to DKMM, and so before he submits that, it needs to be approved by the commissioners.
Take a motion.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Those in favor say aye.
And I think, Bill, you'll look on here, you print your name on this page and then the signatures on the next.
Okay.
No, I think both of it's on the second page,
Oh, is it?
I
There's a
think.
line on the front that says name.
but could be
That's say that.
kind of a mess.
Yeah, the document's kind of. Contractor agreement, notice to proceed, notice of commencement to Jameson Well Drilling. This is for the Knox County Water Wastewater Well number 7 development. We opened this bid up a while back, and so this is phase 1 of doing the new well out there. This is the amount of $93,590.
This would be additional well, correct?
This is for the new well, yeah,
Yes.
well number 7, yeah.
And it's going, it'll be going to this,
Thanks for the
it'll be going to the north of where the wells are now.
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Correct.
I second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
On this one, I think it's just Bill, and it's on just this back page, I believe, Penny. We'll have you
For
verified
Jameson?
before, yeah, Jameson.
Oh, there's several, I believe.
And then we have your bills that we could go ahead and sign and get those to the auditor's office for processing.
Ken?
And I think that's it, other than JT will be here at 10 o'clock or 10:30, I'm sorry, for his update for EMA.
Okay, and then we have yes here this morning. Do you have anything you wanna
No comment, just came to watch the vote. I guess I do have a comment and thank you for,
say your name and
Sorry.
yes, that's all right.
get the hang of this.
And happy
Laura
birthday, I
McCartney.
understand your birthday.
It's Saturday, so this is a pretty good birthday gift, unofficially. But thank you very much for your thoughtful consideration in this and for listening to your Knox County residents and your, I'd like to think I'm kind of an honorary Knox County resident, even though I'm your neighbor, over in Holmes County. I really appreciate your thoughtful consideration for this. It's really nice to know that people do still have a voice in our governments, whether it's local or large, and it's just, I'm happy. I'm very thankful. You're grateful for it. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration.
Thank you for the feedback that you and others provided. We had 400 local folks and at least that many outside of the area. And we heard from our businesses, we heard from the Knox County Visitors Bureau. So thank you for your feedback. That's what we're here for.
Sir, do you have any?
Yeah, my name is Ted Atkinson. I'm actually from Fairfield County.
Okay,
I want to thank you for listening to everybody and your consideration on this matter. I did have a couple questions. I don't know if you can answer them or not, but if the landowner decides to want to do this again, is there a time frame that he's allowed to request to Union Township
time
to
frame.
vacate the does he have to wait a year, a week?
No.
I don't believe that they.
No, there's no time limit.
Really no time limit?
I mean, yeah, well, the trustees would have to bring it
They,
forward.
they would have
Right.
their hearings before they bring it this way.
I spoke with a trustee last night. I wish I had the
From,
last name.
from
On Union Township,
Okay.
named of Terrell.
Yes,
Yeah.
example.
And my question, and what he had a concern, that probably concerned his engineer's office more, but as long as old as that right of way is for that road, his concern is at how many places has it moved off of the right of way? Maybe from a tree being down and now people are going around it. And what, is there anything can be done about that? Or is it something to be concerned about for people traveling that road and they go around a tree that's been cut down or blown down or whatever? And now they're technically trespassing.
Mhm. Well, again, it's an unmaintained road. And I know that the township, they don't take their vehicles down there, so they're not watching that. And we do know the roads, especially gravel roads, shift over a period of time.
Right.
So there would be legal processes to go through. If they wanted to have it surveyed, costs money. That's money I don't think that they really want to spend on survey on a road that they're not maintaining to find out if it moved or not. So there'd be a lot of different things that would go into that process. So
Which would also make it difficult for somebody to be able to say you're trespassing or something.
that too. Yeah, so it's kind of a legal nightmare.
Yeah.
Because it's, if people think it's a road that's for recreational use, that's not the purposes of roads, first of all. It's the purposes of maintaining roads is for vehicles to go through to get to point A to point B, not for playing around and getting to point A to point B. So, and then there's the issue that part of that road starts in Coshocton County. Then part of that road in Coshocton County actually is, even though I don't think it's declared as unmaintained, it is unmaintained before it goes into Union. And so there would have to be a discussion between Tiverton Township, Union Township, Butler Township to have any kind of consistency on anything. I don't see that happening in the near future. So yeah, don't know. That's the answer to your question. That basically says there's not a good answer.
Right.
That is the answer.
But we appreciate you bringing the sunshine from Fairfield County up here to Knox County.
It was
We
all
also-
cloudy when I came up.
Yeah.
It was still dark down there.
So appreciate your,
signatures. I forgot. I have them down there. I didn't pass them down to you.
okay. All three of us, we just made.
Just you.
Okay.
Well, enjoy your rides.
So we have JT here.
Yeah,
So
there
we'll have him come in and we'll get started on that.
JT.
But thank you for being here. Thank you for your comment.
Morning.
Good morning. So we have
Hi,
an
Amy.
EMA update that,
morning.
that says, roads are all clear, no one's in the ditches.
For the most part,
Thank you for
Except for
being
that
here
one
this
or
morning.
two, right?
at least the freezing I've noticed is kind of everything that was passed down. It's coming up easy and it's coming up in chunks. So.
If you guys don't want to stay for the rest of this, it's okay for you to leave. No.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. Be safe.
We'll tag team this list as usual.
Okay.
School reunification. So you folks know the ground we've been covering with all our local schools. We brought Highland into the fold. There's been some discussions with Utica schools and the last one was Clear Fork Valley Schools. Interested in being part of the team and sharing our resources for reunification for them. Just so happens the day we were up there doing that presentation, we actually had an activation for East Knox that I'm sure you've all heard about, so.
Yeah, so can I stop you right there? Because I had someone say, well, if the bad guy knows that you're gonna unify everyone to the field house, why not create havoc at East Knox and wait for them to come to Mount Vernon?
Well, if I said that in an open forum, everyone would know what our tactical advantages are.
Okay.
Let's
Well, anyway,
just say we had plenty of law enforcement at reunification prior to anybody even moving there.
Okay.
Place is swept and there's access control and security for that location.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So the bad guys beware. We're waiting on
Yeah, and if you listen to Dan at all, don't come to Knox County and mess around.
Who?
you. Dan.
The sheriff.
Oh.
He's on board with reunification and all the active front planning we're doing for the schools and
Well, I
he's
agree.
well behind us for that, so.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
You gonna talk about the caucus?
Yes, so our EMA Association, we are actually coming up with a K-12 education preparedness caucus. So I am the vice chair of that. And what we've realized is that our counterparts, our EMA counterparts across the state, they have varying interest and working abilities with their schools. And so myself and the planning coordinator at Delaware County EMA, we're chairing that caucus to do best practices. And so we started that meeting this month and we're gonna go every other month until the foreseeable future. Having different topics, having guest speakers, all that good stuff. So I'm doing that. And then this month also kicked off our next Knox County PIO Lunch and Learn group. I know Andrew was involved in that. So we have various PIOs, which are public information officers throughout the county. And so we're going to have quarterly meetings to get together, talk about any issues that they might have. If there's any projects that we want to work on, all that good stuff. We had I don't know what Sandy's the state PIO for EMA. She came up and did a quick overview of considerations that PIOs should do if they are activated. And then we had a discussion after that presentation. So, we'll go on down. So exercises. So it wasn't an exercise this time with our school reunification activation. And unfortunately, this was actually our second activation of this school year. The first one, the Learning Center back in November had a quasi activation. It wasn't a full-blown reunification. There was a barricade situation outside of their school. And so they left the school on Mount Vernon City school buses came to the field house and we ran like I said, a quasi activation or reunification. We had probably out of the 63 students, we probably had 15, I would say, parents that actually came to the reunification site to pick up their students. And then the rest of them boarded buses to go back to their home school then. So that one was a little unique. And then with East Knox, we had about 769 students that we reunified with their parents and guardians. We had about 75 workers for EMS, and I don't know how many law enforcement, probably 30. I don't have a good count on how many law enforcement was there, but it was God's plenty. So we're in the process of doing our after action review with that incident. So hopefully we'll be getting that wrapped up here in the next month.
So when we talk about scalability of that plan, that's what we wanted to make sure. We could do it for the smallest
Yeah.
group, we could do it for the largest. That shows you, we did it for 63, we also did it for 769. And to give you a little bit of idea on time frame, from the time the last student got off the bus and arrived at reunification, we were in 110 minutes, hour and 40
Yeah,
minutes.
so they started
with the first student reunified until the last one walked out. So 769 students and parents together in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think our team knocked it out of the park. Now, we have challenges, of course, but
Yeah,
that's
but
what
they
the
get,
after action.
then you can correct them.
Yeah, that's what the after action's for.
I was gonna ask what learnings you had, but you probably are still assessing that.
Yes, yeah. And there again, she and I have picked it apart because this is what we've, we live and breathe for the last 8-9 months talking to finalize the minute details and things. And we both kind of decided, you know what, there's always going to be those small little fires to put out. We can't put out every one of them because another one's just going to pop up.
And I agree with you 100%. Some things don't need to be public knowledge because the integrity of
Mhm.
the mission,
Yeah.
as we used to call it. So the last thing you want is every process that you're doing in that to be public knowledge. Because that's when things like that come
Yeah.
into play.
But, we did have the questions about, why do you publish? Well, we want the parents
Yeah.
to go there
There's
to get
certain
their children and not go to
certain
this.
articles of it that.
Yeah.
publish.
Yeah, they show up at the scene, they clog those arteries of getting to our safety services.
So I have a question for you, like these snow emergencies that all of a sudden, have become an issue, like people comparing it to the blizzard, which it was not like that, but.
We lived through that.
Yeah, I just had my senior year.
I was 3, but.
Yeah, so are you involved with the sheriff as to the declaration of what snow emergency it is or not?
No, so we provide information. With this last snowstorm, we were on a call with National Weather Service every day,
Okay.
getting updates, and we
So you're the
got
information.
This is what we're seeing. Now there were suggestions that, hey, maybe you look at these counties because we know how weather was traveling,
Mhm.
see what they're doing, see what they're getting. I know I was in Columbus the night before it came
Well, that was fun.
in Worthington. Well, everything was clear,
Yeah.
but all the stuff coming from, west to east that were coming off 70 up 71 behind me had 4 and 5 inches of snow. So they were ahead of the storm, but they'd been in it.
Yeah,
So kind of knowing, what it looks like on the front end to help make those decisions. And Sunday I was out in the plow with my son. We were taking care of the township stuff, and Dan and I did talk. And I said, hey, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
This is,
I just
and
didn't
it
know
was
where you
fortunate
were.
not to have all the extra traffic when we were trying to clear intersections. Some of those intersections are 60 some feet wide. Well, that's not one swipe of the plow, that's several. And when you've got traffic backed up because people want to, sightsee or decide today I got to go out and, get McDonald's, you can't have that when trying to clear roadways.
Sorry. I didn't know where you guys fell in that pecking order.
Yeah, we assist
just
with
an
that.
information.
Yep, the Ohio Revised Code gives him the authority to do that. We just provide the information so he can make the best decisions.
Thank you.
Getting back to reunification, so I did have people talk about how impressed they were with how well it went, especially on getting food. Because I guess this all happened before lines.
Mhm.
So people were going to be unified and you were able to get people to get food there for people to eat, so
Yes.
they weren't starving.
Yeah.
And how well that all was coordinated, and so I applaud your guys.
Well, we
effort
appreciate that. And to understand, we were at Clear Fork High School in the parking lot spinning this up before we even left. She's on the laptop, I'm on the phone, we're getting things going, we're not even in the county yet.
Right.
Now we had parents beat us there and the announcement hadn't even been made yet. And you're always gonna have that, you know, to deal with, but the ability to have that happening and everything, it was a well.
So when you say that Clear Fork and Highland are coming on board, that means that they will provide Richland County police officers, right? And Monroe County. The
We had-
reunification or.
So we had some outside county response that Sheriff Wexler spun up for the event. Through their mutual aid, through BSSA.
They provide staffing.
They're providing staff from the school district to come work the reunification site, so they would bring
Oh,
their
gotcha.
students out of Richland County, out of Morrow County to Energy Field House and provide the reunification service.
Highland had either 6 or 8 of their staff that came over to assist, so.
Yeah, the idea is not to have staff from the affected school.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something that's maybe emotionally charged.
Well, sure.
Makes sense.
We don't want to have to rely on them. Now, are there some faces that people want to see in certain positions? Yeah, when I go pick up my son, I don't want to see somebody from another school district that I don't know trying to
Right.
tell me how my son is. I want it from the district that I'm familiar with, right?
Right.
So we strategically put those people in those positions, but there again, incident command structure was set up. We had great communication and
Good.
very pleased.
And since you mentioned the command center, do we have a mobile unit now still or not?
We got the RV. Todd Hughes is getting numbers put together for the trailer to get that done. So it's kind of been a slow process, and part of that I think is this weather. But he's been out to the office and looked at it, knows what I want. I drew up some not blueprints, but sketch of, you know, what I was looking at and what I want. So
That's the old Frederick County EMS.
Dodge trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect, good, thank you.
Mhm.
We, back to your report.
We can talk forever on this, so. For under planning, both JT and I are part of our EMAO education, committee. We meet monthly, to discuss upcoming, trainings and all that good stuff, so we're active on that. Do you want to talk about the rest of them?
Oh, yeah, working with HR department on the multi-hazard EOPs and the COOP plans and such, and how to, we put a slide presentation together that Courtney's gonna get sent out to the department heads on what COOP is and how to help strengthen your COOP plans. I did submit the hazmat plan to the state Emergency Response Commission for their final approval. As far as I know, that's still pending. I don't think I've heard back that it was signed off on, but it was a no change. All we had were minor changes in that. There were 3 warming centers from our partners that opened during the cold snap. I have not heard any report back of you about how many people might have
Mhm.
used that.
Were they all in Mount Vernon, were they?
No, but I
No.
know one was Bladensburg Fire Department.
Bladensburg, Centerburg, and then the Salvation Army, but they weren't open on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, but we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't have any missions of unmet needs for anything
Mhm.
even that came in, so. The countywide EOP with all of our emergency annexes in it was sent to the state for its biannual review, and I did hear back from that. It met approval. They had some suggestions, so we can strengthen that when we start updating those. And one thing I didn't have on here, I met with representatives from Ohio EMA, ODNR, Army Corps of Engineers, and our adjacent counties that have interest in the Wally Road and Mohican campground area. A lot of that is stemming from the ability to notify people of flash floods or tornado events
Mhm.
because lack of self-service because of the topography and things like that. So we got a group together that's kind of gonna work on that project to make things better.
Yeah,
Do
that
we-
would be a rough area for cell service, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Do we have a Marks Tower out in that area? Would serve Wally Road.
we have a Marks Tower in that area, but there again, because of topography, that's where we have issues.
Mhm.
So, and there again, Marks isn't gonna do anything for our. They do for our comms, but they don't do for cell phone service, they don't do for,
Yeah.
outdoor warning sirens, so. State Homeland Security grant, I think that was on, the last update, we have not heard anything on an award from that yet. That was the, mobile barriers we were looking for. I did submit the local emergency planning commission CERT grant, that's the money from the state that pays. We actually, EMA bills LEPC for us to do all the hazmat planning and exercise trainings and such. Anything else you can think of there? Okay. Education, I did a flood inundation mapping course, with local emergency managers that National Weather Service put on. Obviously, as we work through our mitigation plan update in the county, that was something, that we were looking at. So give me a little bit of insight. We did a river ice spotter training there again with cold snaps and ice freezing, ice dams cause, flooding in areas that normally aren't seen. So that was, good information there. Mount Vernon Fire put on a grain bin rescue. We were down there for that, as well as the Energy Cooperative. Barry got to sit in on that.
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
wish I had video of when they tripped that transmission fuse and it popped because Barry jumped about 4 feet in the air.
I was trying to get under the chair, actually.
And then they warned us it was going to happen again, and I think you still jumped because I did too. It's like, it's coming, but.
Yeah, my son got a big chuckle out of it. He's like, Dad, I've never seen a 250-pound older man trying to get under a chair before.
But they put together a good group. We had township road workers who had.
Yeah, it was
from the
nice.
City and the
Great
county.
training, actually.
Yeah, just awareness of what dangers are out there.
I didn't know there was bare wires hanging up there. First off, that kind
Yeah.
of shocked me. But-
Yeah. Not
No
literally.
pun in.
No pun intended.
Will you be doing your situational awareness training that you did, that I attended out in the, Heartland Park that day? Are you guys gonna be doing that again this year?
I don't know which one that was, Heartland Park. Did the fire department put that on? It wasn't us.
I thought you were there. Oh,
Could have been, we go to, my old.
That was
they did various
too, but
situations.
That was the city, I believe, but
Said he did, okay. That was good.
I attended the active shooter symposium down at Columbus Police Academy. They had debriefs from 5 national known active threat events, and a lot of good things come out in the debrief. There again, challenges that were posed, and how they dealt through those. I did the high school threat assessment course. That was an online through EOPATA, and there was an IPOS, that's our integrated preparedness warning system, through our Knox winds, and they did entering missing and endangered persons. Dispatch, some of the dispatchers said it as well, what criteria you need to qualify to have those sent out.
you mentioned Knox wind. Jason, so are we set up countywide on the wind system for when we need to send anything out about to the elected officials when we cancel?
Well, that's, Amy's done a lot of work on that, and Courtney.
So Courtney and IT has a system going on. I don't know if were you part of that when we talked? No, you weren't. Sorry.
We're not in the safety committee.
So part of our safety committee, so yes, they're set up, but that's gonna be the responsibility of HR and IT to get the correct people put in. Because I don't know when the last time that it was updated, but because they do all that onboarding and offboarding and everything, they're going to take care of it. So
So
it's all set up.
think
But the update,
We talked about this at one of the meetings, didn't
yeah,
we? Yeah.
yeah. So
Advisory.
I guess that's the short of the answer is it's being
The
worked on.
groups have been created, we just gotta make sure all
Okay.
the people are in the groups, and then like, if we wanted to send something out to this building, that it would only go to the
this building's employees and not
Sorry,
all
didn't
county
see.
employees, so
That's what I'm here for.
that's gonna take a little bit to get those groups moving.
Yeah, and there again, that's discussions to talk through about who's affected by what kind of situation, what list do you need to build, why do you exclude some? You know, what kind of incidents do you include everyone? Yeah, so, but yeah, it's a work in progress.
Good, thank you.
So I'm also involved in our International Association of Emergency Management Association. They have a K-12 caucus general membership meeting every month. So we meet virtually. We actually just had our meeting yesterday. And I attended the conference back in November down in Louisville. And I had a poster presentation on our school reunification team. I had a lot of interest from across the United States about how our team members are picked from the school districts and not just it being a specific schools plan, that we made it as a countywide plan. So that was a good conference. This year it's out in Long Beach. So, and I already put in a proposal to speak there. We'll see what happens.
It wouldn't happen to be in the winter, would it?
It's in November. Late fall, so I might not come back if the weather's nice enough. And I actually put in a proposal, a speaking proposal. I don't know if we'll get in because they only have 74 slots for speaking, but they typically have 300 or 400 like people wanting to come and speak at the conference. So now it was really interesting this year because they talked about when Helene hit the Carolinas, Asheville had just actually stood up a new emergency operations center like 6 months before the hurricane hit. So they were able to test it out then. And I think that when I said they were open for like 140 days straight of dealing with the aftermath of the hurricane. FIFA World Cup is actually coming to Mexico, United States, and Canada this year. So they had as one of their speakers, basically he's the emergency manager and how like what they're doing to help mitigate issues, and that what security measures are going to be in Mexico are going to be the same in the United States and Canada. So it was super interesting. And, they were talking about how their fan base, like what we could see as being malicious, that it's actually just their fan base being super excited because soccer fans are, I don't want to say they're not crazy, but they're very excited about their sport. And so they were
Especially like Mexico and.
Oh, celebrating with fireworks.
Yeah, celebrating.
We don't really do that.
And so, how they're mitigating and bringing in fireworks into their stadiums, because that's, culturally that was accepted, well, not necessarily here. So they're taking steps. And so he talked about what they're doing, and that was super interesting, how all of that's coming together.
I was thinking the Unabomber was the Olympics, wasn't it? It wasn't.
No,
What was it?
no.
It's the Unabomber. Remember the Olympics when they had?
Yeah, well, there was one at the,
Unabomber went by himself, didn't he?
yeah.
He did the male stuff.
Oh,
Boston Marathon. So there was a lot of mitigation talk, and then one of the other interesting was the what was the whiskey place that flooded?
Jim Beam.
No, not Jim Beam.
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace. Yes. So they
Same flavor.
Yeah, he's himself on the out.
That was the test. We just making sure.
the
I
folks,
agreed.
folks from Buffalo Trace was there also talking about that because they had a massive flood this past spring, and how they were able to quickly recover because they had a plan in place. So it's a really awesome conference, and they have
Theirs would make less bourbon and charge more.
I saw Barry down there.
Yeah.
And I believe they didn't have any barrels that were affected, or if it was very minimal, but yeah, the conference, it's just a vast range of topics. I even attended an agriculture one about having livestock in disasters and how they're preparing veterinarians to work in time of disaster. So, and then I come back with all these grand ideas with our partnering agencies. So and then last month I took the conducting and risk management for critical community assets. So we've been busy.
I'd say you're educated, ain't it?
I used to not like going to school, but I don't know, the more I like to learn and
Yeah.
come up with our grand ideas.
Well,
So
that's wonderful.
I feel bad for JT. Hey, guess what?
You're passionate, that's right.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
What would you speak on at the event and that you were?
So I would talk about our reunification plan actually and how that came together and our lessons learned. One of the things, because I started doing our after action review, and FEMA has what's called 32 core capabilities. And so it's a guide, I guess you would say, of how how you're supposed to respond to an emergency. Well, out of those 32, we used 11 of those within our reunification, within our small reunification plan. And so one of the aspects that why it's so hard for schools to plan for reunification is because it's such a complex plan. And what we've learned on this plan is that it's more of a community plan than just a full focus of schools. And so I think that that's kind of where I'm going with. I'm going to use, we're actually going next month over to Tuscarawas County and talk with their superintendents about having a reunification plan started. But I'm going to use a puzzle piece. I'm going to use a puzzle as my analogy and how all of these little pieces, when you put them together, they make a whole plan then. And so I'm going to use the core capabilities to make this puzzle piece and hopefully that
So
it'll make.
you'll leave a piece out and say, now see, this is your piece. We can't finish the puzzle
Yeah,
until you're in.
like his, one of the things was that with the snacks, that we were able to provide those through our partnership with the Chaplain Corps and with Salvation Army. Now, Mount Vernon City Schools provided a little bit, but they weren't going to be able to provide enough for
Yeah, so
700, well, and plus teachers and our staff. So really we probably had about 900 people in total. Yeah. So Salvation Army, they helped with doing our snacks and our food. So that's a community partner that schools might not necessarily realize that we have. Working with our first responders, that they might work with their fire department and their law enforcement within their school jurisdiction. But what we've realized too is that if that incident happens within their jurisdiction, that leaves reunification needing to be worked with, a different jurisdiction as well. So we have that ability to be able to work with all jurisdictions and bring them in together.
Well, I would say my son's critical, John. I mean,
Yes.
sometimes he can be critical.
Yeah.
But, he was emotionally and professionally involved in
Mhm.
this Knox thing because my grandson but he said it was absolutely amazing and went off perfectly. So I mean, he, as you know, he can be critical because.
That's why I like him.
Gets
being
it
part of
from
my
his
team.
dad.
Is there any way we can write a letter? Are there others that could write letters to recommend you and explain the process or what you did? And sing your praises?
It's more, I would say, with our word of mouth.
We're getting,
Oh.
I mean, the state of Missouri EM conference has already reached out.
Great,
Mhm.
super.
Rick Schaefer was at a conference someplace and there were people, I can't remember which state, they called it the Knox County.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas called it the Knox County plan.
Great.
So we're
Wow.
gaining traction
Good
enough.
job, guys. Put us on.
Not that I wouldn't want to take the show on the road, but we've got other stuff to do too. So. But there again, it just,
Winter's a good time to go.
yeah, a 1 or 2 hour discussion with Tuscarawas County to get
Sure.
them on their feet and get started.
Sure.
Always available for the phone calls.
You
And
may
there
end up
again,
having some children's lines,
instead of them
right?
agonizing, they can plagiarize what we have and make it their own. I mean, we're okay with that.
I always told people the best idea I ever had was someone else's that I stole and tried to make it better.
And that's basically so there's a group called the I Love You Guys, and it was based off of Sandy Hook when they had their tragedy, and they didn't have a reunification plan And so that foundation now, it's the, what is it?
It gives you the
It
framework.
gives you the framework for the reunification, but it doesn't give you like the little nuances of, hey, you need to work with this agency or you need to work with that agency. That's just something that we have had to learn. And we're very grateful that Mount Vernon City reached out to us because they saw what EMA can do to help make that plan even stronger. So whenever Rick is by himself and doing the presentations, he always shares, he's like, you need to be making sure that you're working with your local EMA to help bridge those gaps. So we're trying. And we know that too, that this might not be for everybody, but at least that we're giving them something to start with and to think about. So we're trying to plant that seed, and where other people go with it, then that's what we let them go with. So
But you guys are the right people at the right time for us to get this together, so we appreciate that.
We're pretty passionate about it.
yes.
Well, we hadn't gathered that part, but
So no, but it kind of helps with, I mean, if I have with me having the education background and
Calling Jay Key uneducated.
no,
No, but I take care of the safety services. I see those.
Yeah, no.
The tactical
I
plans.
had to dig.
We actually, I mean, we're.
we have our
We're
banners
each
of
other's
like,
strengths, yeah.
no, this isn't gonna work because this is how the schools think, or
That's a
well,
great
this is,
program.
but
Yeah.
Both were yes men.
It's great teamwork.
Yeah, we're proud of it.
thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Keep warming it up out there for us.
Amy, your kid's been out of school all week.
How's the camel?
They have.
He's
They
not
have.
too bad now. He stayed in a
The
couple
one
days,
came with
but
me
he's got-
yesterday to work. Yeah.
So he'll go out.
He
in
didn't
the
come
cold.
today. 'cause
Oh,
went to
yeah,
the
he
grandma
stood
and
out
grandpa's
there long enough.
farm.
He got sick with his leg.
What's his name again?
Aladdin.
Lab. Of course.
Not gonna be any different tomorrow.
But thank you, enjoy,
Yes,
appreciate it.
have a good week.
So Jason, you have anything else for us to go with? Okay,
Also.
then Jen, do you have anything?
Just looking into cell tower situation, which I want to get some more information. So a couple of constituents have reached out to me about cell tower going up and they're right in their backyard and without notification, they didn't know about. So I need to know more about it. And I intend to attend the meeting for the township meeting dealing with the annexation in Centerburg. I've heard a lot of reports from that.
Okay.
And I'm just thankful for the people who stepped up and let us hear about that nest and what they felt about it. American Motorcycle Association, over 400 locals and over 400 people outside the area. So we appreciate that very much.
All right,
I have nothing.
well, everyone's digging out and hopefully warming up here. So I'll take motion for adjournment,
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
and so we stand adjourned.